was a cold, dark night. On the outskirts of the village stood an old mansion known as the haunted Haveli, which had been abandoned for years. The villagers claimed that strange sounds echoed from it at night sometimes, of someone crying, sometimes screaming. No one dared to go near the Haveli after dark. But Rohan, a young man who had come to the village from the city, laughed at these tales. "It's all superstition," he told his friends. "Tonight, I'll go to that Haveli and prove there's no such thing as ghosts." His friends tried to stop him, but Rohan was adamant. He took his torch, a bottle of water, and a camera, and headed toward the Haveli. It was 11 o'clock at night. The sky was covered with clouds, and there was an eerie chill in the air. The Haveli's iron gate was rusted. Rohan pushed it, and with a creaking sound, it swung open. The air inside was cold and damp. Old portraits hung on the walls, their subjects looking lifeless. Rohan switched on his torch and stepped forward. At first, everything seemed fine. He explored the large rooms, capturing images of old books and broken furniture with his camera. But as he reached the second floor, he felt as though someone was watching him. He turned around, but no one was there. "It's just my imagination," he reassured himself. But then, he heard a faint whisper, "Rohan." The voice was so cold it sent a shiver down his spine. He swung his torch around, but saw nothing. His heart began to pound. He moved forward and stopped in front of an old mirror. His reflection stared back at him, but his eyes, they weren't his. They were red and hollow, like someone else's. Terrified, he tried to step back, but his feet felt glued to the floor. In the mirror, his reflection began to laugh a horrifying, inhuman laugh. Suddenly, all the windows and doors in the Haveli started slamming shut on their own. Rohan tried to run, but every door was locked. The whispers turned into screams. "You won't leave this place." A shadowy, black figure appeared before him. It had no face, only two glowing red eyes. Rohan screamed, but his voice echoed off the walls and faded into silence. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, he was in his bed. His body was drenched in sweat. "Thank God, it was just a dream," he sighed in relief. But then he noticed the camera beside him. With trembling hands, he picked it up and checked the recording. The screen showed the Haveli, the mirror, and the same shadowy figure, now staring directly at the camera. A message appeared on the screen. "I am with you now." After that night, Rohan never laughed again. He always felt a shadow lurking behind him. The villagers say the Haveli still stands empty, but at night, the screams of a young man can be heard echoing from within.